Evening and welcome to the Tuesday, July 9th, 2019 Finance Committee meeting. Committee members present this evening, myself, Councilor Di Natale, Councilors Walsh, Sorella, and Boschman. We will begin with an announcement regarding the recording of public meetings. I ask anyone in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating their name and address. Seeing none, moving on to public forum. If there is anyone in the audience who wishes to address the commission, they may do so at this time. You may speak on any item appearing on the agenda for not more than 2 minutes. Please stand and state your name and address and the item on which you wish to speak. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to the agenda. 198-19, in order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from Unitil in the approximate amount of $290,000 for the purpose of said gift, which is to reconstruct various city streets. And a letter dated June 26, 2019 from Courtney Lamoureux, business manager for the DPW, states as follows: I respectfully request that the mayor and the city council accept gifts of up to $290,000 from Unitil, Fitchburg Gas and Electric Company, and allow the expenditure of funds from the gifts for reconstruction of various streets. Last year, Unitil performed gas main replacement work in advance of the city's sewer separation project, in addition to their regular program for replacing all cast iron mains in their territory. The Department of Public Works is repaving streets in the project areas using wastewater and Chapter 90 funds, rather than require Unitil to install full patches over their trenches, only to have them pulverized before the streets are repaved. Unitil and DPW agreed that Unitil would contribute the cost of the trench patches toward repaving the streets. To date, Unitil has agreed to contribute $265,688 towards paving. There may be similar agreements reached in other areas of the city this year, so we are allowing for total contributions up to $290,000. And I have Ms. Lamoureux here this evening if there are any questions from the committee. Councilor Boschman.
Yes, sir.
Calvin, I think I asked you, what's the reason why we call it a gift and not just say for road construction?
It's a gift because Mass General Law would define it as a gift, that they're giving us funds to do certain work for a certain purpose.
All right. I make a motion we accept 198-19.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept 198-19. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous. Next, we'll move to the last item on the agenda, 199-19. In order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the Community Foundation of North Central Massachusetts in the approximate amount of $12,000 for the purpose of said grant, which is to be used towards the construction of the Rollstone Hill Trail, also known as the Rock Walk. And I have a letter here dated June 25th, 2019 from former Commissioner of Public Works Lenny Laxo to the Mayor. I respectfully request that the Mayor and the City Council accept a grant of $12,000 from the Community Foundation of North Central Massachusetts, as described in the attached letter, and allow the expenditure of funds from the grant towards construction of the Rollstone Hill Trail, also known as the Rock Walk. We gratefully acknowledge the assistance of the Fitchburg Greenway Committee in obtaining this grant. In 2018, we also received an initial grant of $13,000 from the Community Foundation and $100,000 from the Recreational Trails Program via the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation. Construction of the trail is underway by DPW and volunteers. This summer, we will utilize work crews for 40 days from the Student Conservation Association. Founded in 1957, SCA is a nationwide organization that recruits, trains, and places qualified youth to serve in environmental conservation projects such as this, and they partner with agencies such as DCR on the trail work. As presented to the City Council in 2018, the Rock Walk Trail will be a 2-mile loop trail connecting downtown Fitchburg with the summit of Rollstone Hill. The plan is to perform the work in phases, but it is important to note that Phase 1 by itself will result in a complete high-quality trail that can be enjoyed by the public. Phase 1 will be fully funded by the grants. Subsequent phases would provide enhancements that will improve visitor amenities and increase the appeal of the Rock Walk to a wider range of users. We look at this project as a recreational and cultural asset that will promote economic development in the city, especially downtown. And I have Ms. Lamoureux here again for any questions the committee may have. Councilor Boschman.
I have two questions. First of all, why do we promote two things? Why do we call it the Rollstone Hill Trail or the Rock Walk? We're not really promoting, this was brought up to me by a counselor, we're not promoting one thing, we're promoting two, and you're getting people confused.
That I do not know the answer to, but I can certainly go back and try to find out what the intent is with what it will be called at the end. I do believe it's going to be called the Rollstone Hill Trail.
Okay. Now, and the final question I have, I'm not gonna vote against this grant. I'm in favor of the grant and all this, but I wanna make sure that, is this gonna be maintained by volunteers
Yes.
all the time?
Yes, so I did confirm, after a conversation earlier, that the Fitchburg Greenway Committee is going to maintain it with the assistance of volunteers. So
Okay.
They fully intend to take care of it.
It's all gonna be volunteer work.
Correct.
Now, after we do the heavy work, they're gonna go in and clean it. If a tree falls, they'll come up there and take away the tree and all that stuff?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I make a motion that we accept 199-19.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept 199-19. Just on one of your questions, Council, about the different titles, I believe during a presentation months ago, it's the Rollstone Hill Trail project, but I think there are some contingents of residents that also call it the Rock Walk Trail, so it's got two monikers. The official one is the Rollstone Hill Trail, but it's also heavily utilized as a rock walk for tours that they conduct, so that's what they'll probably be putting on all their official publications, but it's also known as something else to other people because of those tours that we conduct. So that's just why there's two different names, but, the literature we'll just have that one name, Rollstone Hill Trail. And as to the DPW maintenance, it's a good question, because there was concern from the council months ago about this 2-mile trail eating away at already thin resources the DPW has. So, while I'm very happy that it'll be all volunteers and the conservation group will be taking care of it, there is room for a little skepticism that will be maintained for years into the future, because there are instances we've seen where volunteers are solely responsible for taking care of parcels, and then after a few years, it kind of whittles away, and then it becomes the city's responsibility. So I'm sure we'll assess that year to year to make sure that it's actually being done by volunteers, so our DPW isn't further utilized beyond what they've already got on their plate. So with that, any questions on the motion?
Mr. Chair, just one.
Yes.
The only reason why I asked the first question about the different name, because if you remember when I was a kid, we didn't call Park Hill, we called Park Hill Robage. And now it's called Park Hill, because if I said Robage, everybody will look and say, where the heck is Robage? We never heard of that.
Yep.
But in my time, it was called Robage, not Park Hill.
Yep.
So that's the only
sense.
reason why.
Yep.
All right.
All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.